close a winning trade too soon, only to watch it skyrocket right after you closed it. You know that disappointing, I just lost out on easy profits feeling? Yeah? Well, I've been there myself, and so have hundreds of traders that I've coached to consistent success in trading. Welcome to part 2 of this 4-part series, where I reveal the most common pitfalls sabotaging your trading result. Today we're zeroing in on why people close trades early and the simple fixes my clients use to stay in winning trades longer. Let's get started. Let's dive into closing trades early. What are the triggers in closing the trade early? My team and I, we found that our clients are feeling this fear of losing. So when the trade is active, they feel, what if I lose this profit? And so they become really attached to that equity, that floating equity. And so they end up closing the trade early. And most cases, that would be the wrong decision. Sometimes you get away with it, but your edge, if your back-tested data, if your data and your forward-tested data, if it suggests you should be holding your trade for 2R, 3R, or whatever it is, and you are cut in that trade early, then you are messing with your performance a lot. You're leaving a lot of profit on the table. So this is a big problem in for traders. So fear of losing is a massive trigger. You need to deal with this. Having outcome bias, again, is when you are attached to the outcome, you're attached to the money, you're attached to the P&L, and you're not disciplined enough to detach yourself from that and just stick to the rules and just leave the trade to run. And you end up closing the trade early because you want that money now. You want that payout now. Attached to previous outcomes. So how many times have you been in a trade and you're still thinking about the previous session? You're still thinking about that loss you've just taken, that third loss in a row you've taken this month. And so now that the trade goes into profit, you're like, well, I need to take this profit now before I lose it. And it's because you're attached to that previous trade. You haven't detached from it. You haven't get it out of your head. That's why it's so important to journal. Because if you journal, it helps just get rid of it from here and put it on the journal, and it helps you forget about it. Again, impatience. So many of you are suffering from impatience. You're not patient enough. You haven't conditioned delayed gratification into you, right? You want things now. You want instant gratification because you're entitled, because you're spoiled. Your parents have spoiled you. Society has spoiled you. You've spoiled you. Now, if you're struggling with impatience, then you need to develop the mindset of delayed gratification. You need to, and some of the things that I've done in the past to help me with this, because I'll be the first to put my hand up. I've been spoiled. I'm a mama's boy. My mum spoiled me. Society spoiled me. I grew up in London. Even though I grew up in a rough council estate with crime everywhere, that's already, I'm still in the top 99% of the richest humans on earth. Because I had clean water, I had a roof, I had clothes on my back, I had food on the table, I had warm water, hot showers, etc. Right? I had free school, free education, free healthcare. Spoiled. I was spoiled. And so what I had to do is I had to develop and condition delayed gratification by sticking to workout plans. I hired a personal trainer to really keep me accountable. I went to the gym with other friends to make sure that we held each other accountable and stuck to those training routines. I learned how to fast. I've been doing intermittent fasting for over a decade. And I've been doing water fasts for 3, 5 days, even up to 7 days water fasting. I've done dry fasting, both for physical benefits as well as spiritual benefits during Ramadan. And that teaches you discipline. It teaches you and conditions delayed gratification. And so if you're struggling with impatience, then you're really struggling with instant gratification. Fatigue. A lot of my clients have multiple jobs or running multiple businesses. They're married, they got kids, they got all sorts going on, and they are constantly feeling fatigued. And this can also trigger behaviors such as closing your trade early. FOP is fear of losing profit. I've already covered that actually at the top here. Babysitting trades. So like I said earlier, if you watch every tick, you trade like a dick. So don't babysit your trades. Once you've set your orders, looking at the charts, looking at the trade, looking at price action is not going to do anything. The outcome is not up to you. So focus on something else. Do some back testing, go for a workout, go for a walk, do some meditation, update your coach. Yeah, there's so much more that you can fill your time with instead of babysitting the trade. Constantly checking your P&L. This is a bad habit. This is like checking TikTok or Instagram every 5 minutes of the day, right? It's checking your P&L constantly shows that's a signal that you're too attached to the P&L. It means too much to you. And that's a problem because it causes all these problematic behaviors in trading. Having no predefined rules. So many of you guys have not tested enough. You don't have enough data. You have it all here. You've tested a little bit. You've watched a few YouTube videos. You've done a bit of testing on FX replay and you feel like, wow, I've done this. Or you bought a challenge, you managed to pass it, you got a payout here and there, but you haven't properly defined your rules. It's too discretional. It's really based on luck. And eventually that luck runs out. The market will humble you. And so having no rules means that you don't really have an exit plan. You don't really know where you should exit. So you end up closing the trade early and you end up leaving so much profit on the table. And of course, this is a big problem. And so let's discuss some of the solutions. So some of the solutions that we've come up with for our clients for closing your trade early involve having a predefined, proven system. Proven means over 300 tested trades, no less than that, because that's how you'll truly be able to trust the data. And when you trust the data, when you trust your edge, you hold the trade. You hold the trade to the predefined exits. And trust is based upon data. Reporting to your performance coach is so key because it allows you to get rid of that desire to want to close the trade early. Because if you get that feeling, you send a quick message to the coach, they respond back to you on Discord, and it's usually, look, hold the damn trade. Doesn't matter how you feel, just stop staring at the chart. Go to the gym. Right? Sometimes you need that reminder from an accountability coach or performance coach. Following your trading plan. Some of you don't even have a trading plan for any trade. That says a lot, right? So if there's no plan, then you plan to fail. Are you here to fail or are you here to make money as a trader? Sometimes walking away and setting alerts is all you need to do, because the more time you spend on the charts, the more tempted you're going to get, right? These platforms are designed for you to take action. The colors, the language, everything is designed for you to take action, to click that button. Okay, so get your hand off the mouse, completely get out your trading station and go do something else. It's important to replicate the trading and the decisions that you made during backtesting. That's why you have to backtest so many trades, because you want to condition, you want to think about the decisions that you're making when you're backtesting. That's why I love simulations like on FX Replay, on TradeZella. Simulating is great because it allows you to backtest and actually take trades, and sometimes you experience similar emotions. But most importantly, what decisions do you need to make when you are forecasting, when you're doing your high time frame analysis, when you're looking for that entry, when you're managing the entry? What sort of thoughts and decisions do you need to make? And once you close the trade again, what do you need to do then? What sorts of thoughts and what sorts of decisions do you need to make? All of this should be laid out on a flow chart, so you can actually replicate that in real time. Reduce the amount of times you check a trade. The more times you check an open trade, the more you're going to want to close it if it's in profit. So just avoid it. Sometimes just not looking at the trade often leads to you not closing that trade early. And this also relates to set and forget your TP. This is something that really helps with most systems. And accepting the risk. Let me ask you this. Have you actually accepted the risk? Do you actually understand what risk and reward is in trading? Does a loss feel like a failure? Is a loss something that's negative? Because if it's something negative, then you've got it all wrong. You don't truly understand risk and reward. Think about that. It's a bit deep, but do you truly accept the risk? Having predefined targets. Again, this goes back to having the data, testing things properly, and using risk management software. So risk management software or indicators or EAs, tools, in order for you to follow the plan in a semi-automated fashion is great. Because if you're leaving it all to discretion and you're manually exiting, you're going to make mistakes. You're bound to human error. So using software to help automate your exits, your partials, your stop loss, your break even, this gives you an edge, an advantage, because it allows you to follow your system more rationally rather than emotionally. That wraps up part 2 of our free training series on the triggers that sabotage your trading success. Remember, pinpoint the mental triggers that cause you to bail on really good A+ setups, because when you apply the solutions that I've shared, you are going to watch your trading account grow with more consistent profits. Next video, part 3, we'll look at one of the most damaging behaviors, revenge trading and over trading. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell if you haven't done so already, so you can catch the rest of this 4-part series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.